Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting of the CMAQ CRP and TAPL Project Selection Committee to order. It is 11 o'clock. To go around committee members and introduce yourselves. My name is Doug Ferguson, CMAP. Mark.
Mark Pitstick, RTA representing transit agencies.
Megan Swanson, IDOT, filling in for Chris Schmidt.
Tom Rickard from Kane County, representing the counties.
Jeff Shriver, representing CDOT, filling in for Grant Davis.
Great. So we have quorum. Moving on to agenda changes and announcements. Staff does not have any agenda changes for today or announcements. Are there any announcements from the committee members? All right, not seeing any. Moving on to the approval of the minutes. Included in your meeting materials is the draft minutes from August 21st that were presented for approval. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
So moved.
Thank you, Mark.
Rickard.
Tom. Are there any changes or discussion on the minutes as presented? All right. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the minutes passed. Moving on to 4.0 program monitoring. Included in your meeting materials were the project programming status sheets for the 3 programs. We don't have anything to add to those, but if there are any questions on projects as presented, let myself or other staff know. Also included in there under project monitoring are the CMAQ programming summary and obligation goal. It's not included on this information, but we finished federal fiscal year 2025 with just over 120 million in obligations. So we met our goal of at least spending our entire appropriation for that calendar year or for the federal fiscal year. And so as we look to the next one, we did not spend down in our unobligated balance, but that's included in the obligation goal for federal fiscal year 2026. So our obligation goal is $294 million. We do think, based upon current programming, that we will be able to spend down on some of that unobligated balance, and we've already started working with IDOT to make that happen. But to date, there's been no obligations. We're only a little over a month in, but we expect that we'll start seeing some either by the next meeting or definitely by our February meeting. Any questions on the obligations goal in summary? All right, moving on to 5.0 project change requests. John Hasma is going to present the changes that were submitted.
Morning, committee members. CMAP staff received 3 project changes, all for CMAQ funded projects. So if you move on to the next slide, we'll see the first request. And a quick note, these first 2 requests from Metra are ones that we postponed back in August and are now being presented again for consideration. So this first one is for Metra's Edgebrook Access to Transit project. It's requesting to have 42,000 CMAQ for engineering and 758,000 CMAQ for construction advanced from 2029 to 2026. We go on to the next slide, we'll see Metra's second request, which is for its electric switch locomotive project that is programmed for 9.6 million CMAQ in 2029 and 13.6 million in 2030. And Metra is making the request to advance 4 million of the 9.6 million in 29 to 2026. And then if we move on to the next slide, this is the last request that's being presented today, and It's being presented for consideration for the first time. It's CTA's Halsted and 79th Street Terminal Bus Turnaround Project. And currently, the project has $137,932 CMAQ for engineering in 2029 and $662,068 CMAQ for construction in 2029. And like those two Metro requests, this one's also requesting to have funds from both phases advance from 2029 to 2026. Staff is recommending approval on all three schedule advancements that move funds from 2029 to 2026. Those are the three project changes before you today. Happy to take questions if there are any. Thanks.
Thanks, John. Just a quick note here. So the Metro Edgebrook access to transit and the CTA's Halsted to 79th Street, those projects were part of the RTA's access to transit program. But the ID for the Metro Edgebrook access to transit, that ID that's in the agenda is the ID from the RTA's application. There is a different ID. I don't know it off the top of my head, but we will get that properly reflected in the minutes. Are there any questions on the three proposed requests? Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, thanks. I just have a question about, we considered a couple of these at the last meeting and postponed them. And can you clarify what has changed besides a couple months has passed? Were they at that time asking for 2026 or 2025? And is there, do you remember?
Yeah, the reasoning was these were selected in the 2026 to 2030 program. So at that time, that program hadn't taken effect yet.
Right.
And that's why we decided, the committee decided to move these to today, where that program is now in effect.
Right. Thanks for that reminder. Thank you.
All right. So we're requesting to approve these all in one batch. Do I have a motion for approval?
The county's Rickert moves.
You, Tom, do I have a second?
RTA seconds.
All right, thank you. So is there any other questions or comments on these requests as submitted? All right, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the project change are approved. Moving on to 6.0, the methodology and scoring review for the 2028 to 2032 CMAQ and TAP-L programs. So staff has begun the process of looking at the development and methodologies for these programs. We will be coming back to you with a list of items that we think we should discuss. Mainly right now, the main item is the equiting scoring that we do. We need to make some changes there. So we'll come back with some ideas with that. But we also, if there's any other methodological changes that you think we need to be looking at for the program development, please let us know. I mean, today's perfectly fine, but you can also send me an email if you have other ideas at a later date. Any questions or comments?
Thanks. I know the schedule is to be determined, but can you just remind me where we are in the 2-year cycle? We're not going to do a call for projects this winter. That would be a year from this winter, right?
Correct. So yes, the call will open up. We haven't set any specific dates, but October of next year at some point, with the call closing in roughly end of December, maybe beginning of January.
Thank you.
Yep. Currently, there several of the Council of Mayors have a current call for STPL funds that is open right now. So keeping on the 2-year cycle, we'll be doing the regional programs next year. All right. Any other questions or comments? All right. Moving on to other business. There is no other business that we have. Is there any other business that committee members wish to bring forward? All right. Hearing none. Moving on to public comment. Is there anybody that wishes to address the committee from the audience, or is there anybody online?
Yes, this is John Paul Jones.
Hi, John Paul Jones. Go ahead.
Just thank you so much. I'm happy about the 79th Street Terminal that you decided to support advancing funds for that station to go through its ADA upgrades and comfort station improvements. That station needed a significant amount of investment for so many decades, I recall. And I'm just happy to see that station plan moving forward finally. There's a metro station scheduled maybe like 2 blocks away from there as well, so that would help with the transferring of riders going from the district as well as going further south. So we appreciate that investment. On the question on the methodology and the scoring with the congestion mitigation money, I'm not sure would that impact the current schedule of funds start charging for the red line extension. I know we had about $100 million scheduled for that, and you know, of course, y'all did advance some improvement money for that as well. But I'm not sure. Do we need to go back and do any scoring for that? Those projects that was predetermined for funding. And so we'll talk more about that later, as you indicated that you're open to those kind of reviews. But I just want to thank you for again advancing the 79th Street Terminal project. Thank you so much.
Yes, thanks for the comment. Just as a clarification, so the methodology review is for the next cycle of programming decisions. So it's not retroactive for projects that are currently programmed in the active CMAQ, CRP, or TAP programs. All right. Any other comments? I'm not seeing any. So moving on to our next meeting, the agenda had the wrong date. It stated November 4th. It should be December 4th. So I apologize about that. But as part of that, we have put together a proposed list of committee dates for calendar year 2026 that was included in your meeting materials. We are asking for your approval. We have noticed that there might be an issue with the first date, but we would like to approve it as it now stands. The first date of, I think it's February, is also Lincoln's. It's what do they call it? Lincoln's birthday, and the state receives that day off. So we will be looking at getting a different date for that. But we would ask for your approval today of these dates. Do I have a motion to approve these dates?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Mark. Second.
Second.
Thanks, Tom. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, any opposed? All right, so the meeting dates for 2026 are set. We will be reaching back out when we get a correction for that February date. Seeing as there's no other business before the committee, do I have a motion for adjournment? Thank you, Jeff. Do I have a second? Thanks, Mark. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're adjourned. 11:15. Thank you.
Trying to get you on the right.